Hello and welcome to the Blackdog podcast, episode 318. Fucking, I'm all over the place today.
What is the matter with you?
308 part 2, subsection D, level 2, 1. I don't know. Anyway, this is the feedback episode for the Love Guru,
For all the films that I thought we'd do a double episode for, it was not this one.
Oh yeah, but come on, let's be honest. If we all sit here and listen to Darren rant about something for 25 minutes off air, and then have him suddenly go, "Oh, hang on, it's 11 o'clock." It wasn't going to last. We weren't going to get very far, were we? Really?
No, that's true.
No, let's be honest. So, I'm Lee.
I'm not Darren.
And I'll be Jim.
There you go. Yes, because even though Darren said he would be here, he's committed a method of self-mutilation and self-harm, which means he cannot be here, and he's going to recount that for us on his week next week, when we all meet up for Ghost in the Shell. But he is, yeah, as we record right now, he's face down in Nuffield Eye Hospital having things put into things with drips and irises getting blown out and all sorts of stuff. So yeah. So look forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. If you're squeamish, you might want to skip next week's How's Your Week? Because it's it's a good one. So so basically, we ran out of time last night, and as promised, we were going to do a feedback episode for this one because basically, no, we can't let everyone just watch this film and say, "Well, you watched it. Good night, everyone." I think we
One day we will, though.
Yeah, one day we will, but not today. Because if we do it now, I think my house would be burnt down by the minute. I think the minute this cast went up, I think there'll be a bunch of burning torches and pitchforks on the doorstep. So so we're going to go through the feedback. Was there anything we missed last night that you wanted to just add about the Love Guru before we go on to the feedback, just to reiterate our positions? Anyone? No? Anything you want to say?
Well, one thing that wasn't spoken about yesterday was Justin Timberlake's performance.
His performance or his performance euphemism?
Well, it's... Normally, he's not the best thing in a movie.
No.
But he's not normally the worst thing in the movie. And I thought he got out of this pretty scot-free.
Yeah, he seems to be all right for comedies. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen him in any of those Lonely Island videos. Do you know Lonely Island?
No.
Dick in a Box?
Dick in a Box? Mother Lover?
No.
Okay, do you know who Lonely Island are first? Let's try and establish that.
Albatross moment while we find Dick in a Box. That sounded
yeah. Hold on, Jim, what? Is that in the arcane section or just the...
As Jim leans down below his desk.
Yes, I have one here, a Dick in a Box.
It's like Blue Peter After Dark.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, Sarah Ellis getting... No, stop it.
Easy, Tiger.
Easy.
I don't know what this island... What is it?
It's an American band. It's a band made up of 3 comedians from Saturday Night Live, one of whom is Adam Sandberg from Brooklyn 911.
Right, okay.
And essentially they do like rap tracks, and they're all spoofs. They're all kind of piss takes, and they even did one about films which had Michael Bolton in it. And then they've got this kind of ongoing one with Justin Timberlake in it called Mother Lover, and another song called Dick in a Box.
Right. No, I haven't come across this.
Okay, well, it's just that when you see Justin Timberlake in those bits, in those videos, and singing along, doing his usual sort of sing-song stuff, but singing about, I'm a mother lover, you're a mother lover, we should love each other's mothers, loving each other's mums. You kind of go, okay, he seems to be up for off-colour laughing, shall we say.
Laughing at himself as well.
Yes, and he's quite happy to laugh at himself. So, yeah, so it didn't surprise me that he got away scot-free from this, because as soon as he turns up, it's like he's already the punchline to a joke, pretty much, as soon as he arrives.
But I think he's generally all right in movies, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he was all right in The Social Network. He was probably the least obnoxious of all the arseholes in that film.
He was an utter arse in that, wasn't he? He was the guy who did Napster, wasn't he?
That's right, yeah. And he's kind of like our sort of second-hand Orlando Bloom, but he can sing.
Yeah.
American Orlando Bloom, but can sing. There you go. When he turns up, you remember he exists, and when he disappears, you completely forget again. I think that's the best way to put it. He's not quite Ed Sheeran, but there you go.
Fuck off.
But no, I thought he did okay in this film overall. I mean, but then he wasn't in it for very much. He was in it for one gag, which, oh man, it was that gag about his cock was fine the first time in terms of like getting the joke out of the way, but then you had Mike Myers do the whole thing, which was the same as who was the kid in the Wonder Years?
Fred the big cock.
No. Yeah, the kid in the Wonder Years with a big cock. No, no, the kid who was in the TV show Wonder Years.
Fred Savage?
That's the one. You really are taking over from Darren, aren't you? The part of Darren will be played by. No. And he turns up in one of the Austin Powers things with a big mole on the side of his face. And it's the same gag as the Justin Timberlake's got a big cock gag in Love Guru, which is basically there's Austin Powers going, moly, 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 moly.
Is that him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, and then as he's talking, you sort of get that pencil just coming off screen and just kind of poke it very gently. And that, the mole, not the cock. But it was that was the same gag. It was exactly the same gag. But the bit when he goes damn and you get the flashback and you just hear with the knob hitting the floor. I think that was about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost underplayed, which is bizarre
almost.
for a film that hammers everything into the ground, really.
Yeah, exactly. Underplayed, and especially a cock gag as well. But anyway, there you go. Anything else, or shall we move on to feedback?
I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I was listening to the cast this morning, and I was just like, yeah, you can hear that basically there's nothing to say about this film, really. It's just inept. But
I think we did our best, and I thought we gave it a good kicking, but it wasn't justified burying it totally, I don't think.
No. And then when you start laughing about smoke bombs and elephants, we kind of undermine our point about it not being funny. But anyway, right, okay, then let's move on to the feedback then. And I'll start with the first bit of feedback, which is Steve Deegan, Monkey Boy Deegan, and he writes, his subject matter is, I think I'd rather have the Fat Bastard movie. Greetings, gentlemen. Monkey here, ready to fling shit at an already feces-covered mess, and that is before it even hit the cinemas, so fuck knows what state it's in now, after your own reviews and any feedback before mine. Firstly, though, I don't think this should have been the Mike Myers Conservatory movie. He had, after all, had success with Austin Powers, so this was far more showing him to be a one-third pony. But you're spoilt for choice after last week's star Ben Kingsley was also in a role where he at least acted in it, and Morgan Freeman probably got paid the GDP of a small country for a few seconds of voiceover work. I should start with any positives, and thankfully there are a few to go on. Stephen Colbert was wonderful as Jay Kelly, the troubled announcer. The little animations for the games were quite amusing. so almost hilarious in comparison to the film they're in. And no, that's about it. All the positives are out the way. It's not so much that it would be racially offensive, but I think unlike if Adam Sandler had done this, they actually went out of their way to get across that this was a white American who ended up being raised in India from a young age, and therefore took on the accent of the culture. But it still is a bit jarring. That might be because watching it now with so much more self-awareness, I do recall it being a reason that put me off not just going to see it, but even ever watching it. The formula is familiar to anyone who's ever watched the Austin Powers movies, with the musical introduction that is funny, or in this case it's supposed to be. The jokes fall flat because they've been heard so many times before, and they're not even funny within the context of the film. The name of the gurus are the biggest fail here. The cameos are awful at the start, but I must admit a snort escaped me with the Kanye West and Mike Myers cameos at the end. Justin Timberlake was so-so as Lecoq. John Oliver displayed why he should never ever be given an acting gig in the first place, as he was basically playing John Oliver. And I really struggled to get the appeal of Jessica Biel. You mean Jessica Alba, but yeah. The plots worked well until the final third, when they were wrapped up far too quickly to make any sense, and therefore the only other laugh in the film was a one-credit blooper of Vern Troyer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll have to go and find some mind bleach. Adios, peace out, monkey. There you go. Well, thank you very much for that, sir. Yeah, there's nothing to argue with there, really, is there? I think it's going to be like that all the way through, really.
I like the animations as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I completely forgot about those things. They were quite good, weren't they?
They did get some smiles out of me. So
yeah, and yeah, they were quite funny. I just they did kind of ramp up quite nicely, but they were like kind of when you channel surf and you kind of hop over and there's a Tom and Jerry thing going on and you hop back.
Yeah,
it didn't really feel like they were part of the same film. They were that much better. But there you go. Well, thank you very much for that, Steve. And let's move on. So let's move on to you, Jim. Who do you have first?
First, we have Fiendish Dr. Will.
Dr. Will Catlin Hallett. And what does he have to say?
Well, the Fiendish Doctor writes, subject line, whose conservatory is it anyway? Good evening, Blackdog. Well, you're certainly pulling out all the stops in the name of ratings. The Love Guru was a complete pile of old bollocks. Mm-hmm. I'm not entirely sure why we were watching it. Mm-hmm. I thought the point of the conservatory season was to look at decent actors belittling themselves in the name of a paycheck. But this was Mike Myers. He's not a decent actor to start with. And this is entirely within the realm of what I expect from him. Mm. Having said that, there were plenty of conservatives going around for other people who should know better. Mm. One side effect of giving us a pile of shit to watch, though, excuse me, is that you could start comparing them to each other rather than to good films. The Love Guru was arguably better than Blood Rain, in that there was an actual plot, brackets, not a good one, but it did have one, close brackets. You could understand what they were talking about, open brackets. Maybe that's not a good point, given they were talking complete bollocks, close brackets. And there was actually an element of production ethics, brackets, except for Myers as a kid. That's going to leave with nightmares for some time to come, close brackets. Also, in my opinion, a lot better than those god-awful Austin Powers films. Everyone keeps saying that the sequels are better, so having fought my way through the first one, I ended up switching off halfway through the second because I could not put up with any more of that inane bullshit. At least with The Love Guru, I didn't feel like it was ripping out my soul to watch it. I even managed it in one sitting, which I couldn't do with Blood Rain. Saving grace for Love Guru is that it actually had a few funny moments. Admittedly, almost all of them were in the scenes with Stephen Colbert, which were excellent. But that was enough. Mike Myers is a fucktarded, wank-stained cockwomble, and I could really do with seeing a lot less of him around. But Stephen Colbert made it worthwhile sitting through his bullshit. Till next time, Fiendish Dr. Will.
Well, thank you very much for that, Dr. Will. Yes. Yeah, the Austin Powers ones. Well, I mean, as you probably heard by now, I mean, we're quite a fan. Well, not, I wouldn't say fans, but we enjoyed them when we watched them. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And frankly, your mileage varies with him because I mean, I have to say, I'm not a fan of the Wayne's World movies. To be honest, there's one scene in Wayne's World 2 which I like, and that's about it. So, and as Love Guru's quite obviously proven, he's not consistent. Let's put it away.
But I would say on the conservatory front, Wayne's World did very, very well. So did Wayne's World 2. And so did Austin Powers movies. And this lacked a bit of love in it. It was just very run-of-the-mill, almost like a second draft.
Yeah.
And not a lot applied to it. Whereas the other movies that we've seen him in, you can really tell that there's a lot of love gone into it, a lot of grafting gone into it as well. And this was, do you know what? I'll just chuck it out. If it works, I'll make a sequel. If I don't, oh well.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I must admit, I'm guessing, because I've seen it a couple of times on the Facebook group, that people are querying why this is a conservatory movie. And I kind of, I remember this film being one of those ones where he kind of, Mike Myers was trying to come back from all those Shrek voiceover films, and so I kind of considered it that way. But now that I've seen that Ben Kingsley's in it, and Morgan Freeman basically got the small cash about the size of my house just for basically turning up at the beginning and the end, I guess it counts as a conservatory movie. I just picked the wrong target.
It's everyone else, isn't it?
It is pretty much everyone else. Yeah, from John Oliver down to sort of like I say, blooming Morgan Freeman. I mean, how much do you reckon he got paid for that? Probably tons.
Thousands and thousands.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
unless they cheaped out and got an impersonator.
Oh God, yeah, the guy who does all the amazing facts about animals or something. The one who sounds a bit like Morgan Freeman. But never mind. I was going to go off on a tangent about how much I've figured out how much Patrick Stewart would cost to have as a voiceover when I was working at Cartoon, but I'll skip that story. Otherwise, we'll be here for hours. But and I was going to try and get him in for the Blackdog. Get him to record one thing while we were doing while I was doing something for the Cartoon, and then it ended up not happening anyway. He was reasonably cheap though. I think you'd be surprised how much he was for an hour.
Ooh.
For an hour of Patrick Stewart, money well spent. That's all I'll say. Maybe when the Patreon goes live, we'll get him. Go get him. Patrick Stewart introducing our podcast. That'll be.
Well, he doesn't go back to the back catalogue and listen to some of our Star Trek reviews. That might skip really bad.
Yeah. We'll have
to remember I did the feedback impersonating him very badly indeed.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, very badly indeed. And then once he gets the ones with Elton on it, we'll have to actually make that as a part of the rider that Elton gets fired immediately. Otherwise, for all the Star Trek love he doesn't have. But anyway, Anyway, right. Well, thank you very much for that, Fiendish Dr. Will. And now it's time to move on to our next bit of feedback. So who do you have first, Elton?
Okay, I have Fred, Dr. Scum, Lubnow.
Aha.
Now, I think my internet's going a bit wonky, so just shout if it does go wonky, and I shall rectify that immediately.
No, you're doing fine at the moment.
Okay, cool.
I will shout wonky if it all goes wonky.
Yeah, I've chatted with too. Accelerate to attack speed.
Nice.
His subject is, if this movie was any longer, I'll pop my dick bag.
Okay.
Hello, Blackdog crew. Hope all is well. Oh, bless Darren. Okay, let me get this straight. First, we watched 3 non-comedy movies that each have laugh out loud but unintentional laughs. And when we finally get to a comedy, it's not the funniest in the least bit.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I love lowbrow humour. I'm a huge fan of the Three Stooges and the Marx Brothers, love Mel Brooks movies, and enjoy movies like Dumb and Dumber. But the Love Guru just wallows in juvenile grossness, not for the sake of humour, but just for the sake of being gross. How many snot booger can one movie have? Believe me, fart and dick jokes can be funny, but this movie sunk to new lows which depleted any of its humour. Now, he goes up a font, so I don't know if that's me shouting or not, so I'm going to just raise my voice a tiny bit for him.
Go for it.
I know actors have to work, but Ben Kingsley, the man who played Gandhi and won an Academy Award for the role, is in this piece of shit? Wow, I'd rather watch an extremely depressing House of Sand and Fog again. Wait a minute. I said the exact same thing about last week's film.
That's
Ben,
right.
what the fuck is wrong with you? Now he goes down a little a font size. I remember when I came out of the reviews was so bad. I remember when this came out, the reviews of it was so bad, and not only did any not go, and not only did I not go and see this, but it was one no one ever rented. I know no one who has actually seen this movie until now. The Love Guru was more forbidden than the Necronomicon. Necronomicon, and now I know why. I also know why this is slammed the brakes on for Mike Myers' career. One of these worst movies I've ever seen, simply due to the fact that it was a comedy and I did not laugh or even smile once. Thank you, Blackdog, and I'm now looking forward to next week's film. It's got to be better than this flame bag of dog shit. Fred, Dr. Scum, love now. And apologies for the cocking up.
No, that's fine. It's fine, man. Don't worry about it. You're going to do it 3 more times anyway.
God bless our listeners.
Yay. Well, thank you very much for that, Dr. Scum. Yes, once again, we feel like we were all going around the same roundabout with Ben Kingsley going, what the fuck are you doing, man? Actually, I was thinking another one we could do was Cuba Gooding Jr. in
anything.
Yeah, pretty much anything. Yeah, there was Men of
Pearl
Honor,
Harbor.
Pearl Harbor, Men of Honor. Have you seen Men of Honor, where he's the diving, the first black guy to do diving for the Navy? Oh man,
Hey?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The first black man to dive into a pool.
No, deep sea diving, I think it was.
And there's lots of white gentlemen going, well done, well done.
Yeah, one of them is Robert De Niro, another conservatory winner. Yeah, no, it's a terribly mawkish World War II drama because he gets hurt and then he has to go back down underwater again and prove his worth. And oh god, it was shite. I watched that on a train. I watched that not on a train, on a plane once, and I just wish I hadn't. Really crap. But anyway.
You could have had Kevin Costner, and he was in a film with Ashton Kutcher about, it was sea rescue people.
Yeah.
That was fucking abysmal.
Kevin Costner's pretty bad. Yeah, we could do basically anything. Any film which has Kevin Costner in a scarf is usually a good start. If you can see him in a scarf on a poster, then you know you're in for a bad time. So yeah, maybe we could have Kevin Costner scarf season. Oh dear. Well, anyway, thank you very much for that, Dr. Scum. And if you like to hear more, or rather read more of his work, then head on over to his blog, which is lovecraftianscience.wordpress.com. Right, okay, my next piece of feedback is from, he says, slowly clicking on the wrong button and trying to sneak around the fact, is from Gary, Mr. Spock Madden. And he writes to say the following. The title is Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. Greetings and sundry various black doggerel and that ballsack chakra, Mr. Owl. Hey, Mr. Owl's on the ball today.
Yes, we've been helping you record, as you'll hear in several weeks' time.
Oh, right.
Several months' time. But anyhow.
Fair enough. He's on hand.
Yes.
Yeah. I've had a hell of a week. Not only did I sit through one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but I'm also preparing for a business trip up to Detroit. Yep, a real soul render. As I'm scribbling down my thoughts, I'm girding my Vulcan loins for another visit to Mr. Wolf's security checkpoint. Whatever the devious Klingon bastard has cooked up for me, I can guarantee it won't be as bad as what I've just sat through. I'll be honest, Mike Myers has never really impressed me. I liked some of the Wayne's World sketches that appeared in the dying days of Saturday Night Live, the first Wayne's World film, and the first Austin Powers movie, but that's pretty much filled my Myers lifetime quota. Even when something isn't to my taste, I usually can see where someone else might find jokes funny. But there's nothing to laugh about in this soggy curry fart of a film. It's just tired, dull, and dumb. Instead of doing anything original or even well, it just repeats the same dull stuff again and again and again. The book titles, the mnemonic devices, the trademarks, the Kung Fu Guru monastery bullshit. What I can't understand is the star power. When this patchily scented pickwaddle was sauntered into theatres in 2008, Myers hadn't done anything more impressive than Disney voiceovers for 5 years. How the hell did he draw in Ben Kingsley, Kanye West, Deepak Chopra, Jessica Alba, Justin Timberlake and half the cast of The Daily Show? Is it just Myers' name? Didn't they bother looking at the script? I mean, at least Kingsley would have thought, well, wait, hold on, I'm playing a cross-eyed guru whose training regimen includes fight with piss-soaked mops. Well, at least I can look forward to what I hope is going to be a good film next week. Wish me luck, and the zombie-plagued wastelander is Detroit. I'll bring you back a severed toe or something. Look for a particularly smelly package in the Blackdog post office box, sorry. Live long and fuck you, Mike Myers. Fuck you and the elephant you rode in on. Gary, Mr. Spock, Madden. P.S. Here we go again. I would argue that Love Guru isn't actually a Mike Myers conservatory film. I mean, his disgusting mug is all over this rancid fucker from beginning to end, while Ben Kingsley shows up, makes a few funny faces, puts on a bullshit Indian accent, and then cashes the check. So I'd argue that actually Ben Kingsley's conservatory film. Maybe he needed to build a conservatory on the conservatory that he earned from Blood Rain. Yes, he did. I think that's it. I think we've come to the conclusion that I picked the wrong person for the conservatory naming. We should have just called it Ben Kingsley Month and be done with it. But thank you very much for that, Mr. Madden, Mr. Spock. That was very good. Oh, by the way, one thing I was just twiddling over, just going back on feedback with the fiendish Dr. Will about the ratings, because he made that little comment about the ratings, and I was just suddenly thinking, the reason it's kind of just to explain the whole thing with the ratings is it's all about not what it's kind of back to front. Basically, whenever we watch a really shit film, the ratings go up, and we see that everyone watches these films and wants to listen to us basically give them a good kicking. And when we do good films, hardly anyone downloads them. So with the stats, I was just kind of going, okay, fine, let's see what comes up, see what everyone thinks. But now the ratings have kind of settled down. There's kind of a consistent amount of people who are listening, so that's good. So we're going back to normal films now. Now I've tried you all out. Now I've Hunger Games you all. Now I've done some sort of like Pavlov dog moment. Now I know. Now I've got you all trained.
Feed him some good stuff.
Feed him the good stuff. Well, I say that we're going to give him blooming Ghost in the Shell. I don't know how anyone's going to feel about that.
Yeah.
And there's worse to come.
Yeah, there's much worse. Much worse. So anyway, thank you very much for that, Gary. Yes, and we'll be hearing from Greg a bit later on. And good luck in Detroit. And if you see any robot cops, just keep out of their way. Just bear that in mind. Old Detroit's not a place for good, ripe thinking people. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry, I was trying to do a RoboCop joke in there and I completely fluffed it. Right, so Jim, over to you, mate. Get me out of here. Get me out of this.
Okay. Next, we have Mr. Ian Wilson, podcast host of occasional Bond series for your ears only, and regular host of Twice as Bright, Half as Long,
which you can find on Earth 2.
That's correct.
Ah, there you go.
On with many other fine podcasts.
Yes. So, okay then. So, what does he have to say about this film?
Well, Mr. Ian writes, Greetings, Blackdog team. It's the placeholder here, busy holding up beige colour samples at a B&Q paint mixing session in Solihull on a drizzly evening.
Nice.
In September.
What?
Humming a James Blunt ditty from his most recent album. No, not a song you know. So, you're watching The Love Guru. Ha! You utter fools! Whilst I know that your review choices usually gravitate between the sublime and the ridiculous, surely you can't be under any illusions which end of the spectrum The Love Guru gravitates towards. In that I covered 3 films of Mike Myers for Hey an Actor earlier this year, gratuitous plug alert, I think it's fair to say that the 21st century has not been kind to Myers in his professional career, notwithstanding his Shrek cash cow and his surprising cameo turn in Inglourious Bastards. But this film is an utter turkey, and the film that finally stopped Myers having full creative control of his projects, which has been prophesied by the Cat in the Hat and Goldmember before it. I know that Blackdog hosts have usually previously offered up admiration for the latter film, but isolated jokes aside, that film is rubbish, self-indulgent nonsense. As there are so many bugbears to be had with this film, I'll boil it down to the most egregious issues. 1. Myers' character is unlikable, relies on unfunny running jokes, and could easily be construed as racist at several points of the movie.
Yes.
2. Jessica Alba is in this film, bringing her usual caliber of acting. 3. One of this generation's finest political comedians is given a thankless cameo role as the character Dick Pants. 4. The script is lazy, boring, assumes that an audience would root for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm a Calgary Flames fan myself, and relies on repetitive sources of humour, such as Vern Troyer being short and a sitar being a guitar stand-in. In short, this film is awful. I wouldn't go quite as far as calling for the graphic murder and dismemberment of Myers, as the belly stapler appears to. After all, it's only a highly disappointed comedy film at the end of the day. But I have no issue with it derailing his career as it did, because he had this coming. Better luck with next week's film. Until next time, cheerio, Ian.
Cheerio, Ian. And thank you very much for that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is an utter turkey. And, you know, it is self-indulgent nonsense. But, you know, I can't...
Go on, you can do it. Come on.
I'm working on it. I just can't just dismiss it as like, oh, it's just an average disappointing film, you know. But it isn't. It is a really shit film. It's not just a. Oh, it's not that bad. It's just rubbish. You know, it's like, no, it's actually a genuinely shit film. But otherwise, I completely agree.
I think it sets up maybe for us to do the Austin Powers movie, the third one, Goldmember.
Oh, good Lord.
But not yet. Give him a bit of time. Maybe next year at some point. But that would be ripe for rose-tinted specs because I think we do have fond memories of it.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. It is one of those. It is a film. Well, as we said last night, I mean, it is a film that where you walk away from it going, that was not funny at all. Just no, not funny at all. But then you're talking to someone and someone just comes out with one of the lines, and because your friends have said it, it seems funnier.
Mm-hmm.
And then that becomes like a thing. It becomes like the Aliens thing. You know, you can't start quoting Aliens around people who like Aliens and then not expect it to turn into an entire quote fest for at least 20 to 30 minutes.
Mm.
And it's the same deal with Austin Powers. Some people will watch them and just go, that's not funny. And that's fine. Absolutely right and fine. But then there'll be a moment where someone will turn around and go, how about no, you crazy Dutch bastard? And then you're off, you know. Then you're into, I bet they called you tripod, you know. Shat on a turtle, and you know, can I paint his yoo-hoo gold, and all those kind of things.
Oh, that's a keeper.
It's a keeper. Yeah, smoking a pancake, crepe and a crepe, and it's just.
And so it begins. And that's the thing. But it's more the gags have built into your own social circle than it is that the film is actually any good. So maybe if we do watch it, it probably will be one of those things where the podcast just turns into us all just quoting the bloody thing. And that'll be this, and that's what I'm saying. It's the same as Anchorman. Is Anchorman actually a good film? Probably not. But you end up with lots of one-liners and gags that you use and have seen as memes. You know, that escalated quickly. You know, I killed a man with a trident. You know, I'm in a glass case of emotion. All these things, but they all come up after the event. They don't come up while you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
they need you to sit down and ponder on them a little bit, don't they?
Yeah. Oh dear. Well,
as Ian says, though, Lovegrove does have the upside of it has put a stop to him making any more films like this.
Well, yeah.
Which is one thing that I think comes up a lot when we do a bad film. Is that often we're reviewing a terrible film in the full knowledge that the perpetrators have gone on to do worse again and again. And a Michael Bay again.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to say, do we all have tickets for the Transformers last night?
Of course we don't.
No, of course
no,
we don't.
I'm not going anywhere near that, please.
No.
If anyone heard my Transformers watch through logs, you'll know damn well that cunt's not seeing penny one from me ever again. In the words of Gandhi.
yeah. In the words of Mother Teresa, you can go fuck yourself if you think I'm paying for that shit. Yeah. Anyway,
Mother Teresa known to say, "Fuck that noise."
Yes. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. I am not spending money on that. Not penny one. Actually, it's got fucking Anthony Hopkins in it now. There's a conservatory earner.
He's a repeat offender.
Yeah, for sure. Him.
I am actually getting a theory about Ben Kingsley.
Oh yeah.
I think he just got so sick of the Gandhi tag that one day something just fatally snapped in his mind.
Yeah.
And he just thought, right, I'm going to do some terrible, terrible films and finally free myself of that Oscar-winning handy bendy Gandhi tag.
Yeah. I think maybe that's right. Actually, he just wants to get as far away from it as possible. Maybe that's it. Maybe that'll also explain Cuba Gooding Jr. Because, like, as soon as he did that one film and got the Oscar for it, was it Jerry Maguire, wasn't it? Or something like that? Was it Jerry Maguire he got the Oscar for?
Could be.
Yeah, suddenly it's like, that's it. He's got that, and now he's off. Oh, let's do this crazy shit and that crazy shit.
Well, isn't that the thing? There is a sense of the Oscars get passed around. And you're more likely not to get one than to actually get two. And, okay, fine, I've done it now. I've still got 20 years ahead of me. Let's have a bit of fun.
But there's also the thing with the Oscars, it's almost a ticket to doing bad movies.
Yeah.
The track record of particularly up and coming young actors who win an Oscar, they go on to do some horrible films. Halle Berry got an Oscar. The next year she was getting a Razzie,
Yeah. And then she turned up.
One year it's Monsters Ball. The next year it's fucking Catwoman.
God, yeah. And
she is not alone. That is a trend of kind of Oscar-winning actors.
Yeah.
They go from the sublime to the ridiculous to the abysmal. It
happens in the music scene as well.
Yeah.
With the Mercury Awards, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, that's almost like a death curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Miss Dynamite?
Don't you mean Miss Dynamite?
Yeah, that's the one.
Come on, get it right, man. Anyway, moving on.
Yes, I'll just plug Ian's other show, Hey an Actor, which is a very good show I enjoy as well, which he does with his brother Pandy.
Yeah,
where they take 3 films from one actor's career at different points and review them and see how they've done over the years, which makes for very interesting shows. Actually,
yeah. Well, maybe
they don't always pick the obvious choices as well. So,
yeah.
It's a good fun cast. Recommend that.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. And is that on Earth 2 as well?
That is on Earth 2 as well, yes.
Oh, brilliant. Off to Earth 2 with everyone then. Brilliant. Well, let's move on then to you, Elton. Who do we have next? Thank you very much for that, by the way, Ian. Thank you.
Right. In front of me, I have Gareth Lloyd. Well, this was another mystery monocle for me. Although I was a big Mike Myers fan, I had heard such dire things about it, I never gave it a look. However, after seeing it, I realised I was wrong. Now, my expectations for the film were 0, and I was expecting a laugh-free 90 minutes. However, I chuckled and laughed from Morgan Freeman's voice machine opening to the version of the Joker at the end. Now, I totally get why people will not like this movie. The humour is stupid, puerile, and childish. But it caught me at the right mood and at the right time for its daftness, and I had a good time with it and would happily watch it again. As for the conservatory, well, Mike Myers' characters may not be politically correct, but it's far from lazy performance, and let's face it, he could have made a career of making endless Wayne's Worlds and Austin Powers sequels. So at least he tried something different. It was also great to have such fun from Ben Kingsley as Guru Tugimai, and he redeemed himself from last week's debacle. So I'm going to grab my sitar and I'm off to the bunker to practice some self-loving and spiritual contemplation. So peace all. Gareth.
I think you need it. Wow. That was an actual effusive thumbs up.
I didn't expect we'd get one of those.
No, I didn't either. But you know what? Humour is subjective, I guess, isn't it? So, what one person finds funny, someone else will need to Google for a month. see previous Ted Malt jingle from yesterday.
But it's nice to hear that it caught him at the right time. There's no excuses for it. It is shit, but I quite liked it. It caught him at the right time, right mood, and he liked it for it, and we'll watch it again. So that's good.
Well, I mean, that's like with me and bloody was it Street Fighter? A film that fundamentally on every level I should absolutely detest, but it's just Raul Julia just made me laugh all the way through it, and I just like, this is great. This is an actor who knows he's in a shit film, he's going to die, and just goes, I'm going to be bollocks, and I'm like, yep, fine, that makes me laugh. I'm down with that, and everyone else is going, why on earth do you like this? You hate everything. So I do understand the catching you at the right time thing. Totally. Well,
Definitely.
Well, thank you very much for that, Gareth. I mean, it is a lonely bunker this week. I'll be honest with you. You're definitely.
When you get the sofa all to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, well, there you go. Well done. So now it's time to move on to my next bit of feedback, which is from Canadian Labrini Obi-Wan Kenobi, as in Peter Labrinos, Labrino. So it's Peter Labrin Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's right. There you go. And he's the other man in Canada. And he writes, "Is that a rooster in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Hello, Blackdog. I hope everything finds you all well this week, including the grand cock, Mr. Owl." There he is. Good work. Fast-triggered Mr. Owl. This film was a mystery monocle for me, but before I go to the bunker, I have to say I didn't hate this film. It certainly wasn't as bad as that shitpile last week, Blood Rain. It's not going to win any awards, but it was amusing once I got past all the celebrity bit parts and I started to enjoy it. This is just a continuation of the Austin Powers trilogy, Bollywood version. No conservatories here, time to move along. Like all film comedies, including Airplane, Austin Powers, Naked Gun, and all the great Canadian classic Strange Brew, the comedy can be very hit and miss, and this had more misses than hits. But the reason I believe this did so badly is because Americans are biased about everything, and it isn't just about themselves. As a Canadian, a lot of the humour probably made more sense to me, especially the stereotyping, mainly because it's true. We're not called the Great White North for nothing. Timbits, poutine, sugaring off, and street hockey. Yeah, not for nothing. Timbits, poutine, sugaring off, and street hockey. As for the rest of the cast, Ben Kingsley, no complaints. At least he had something to do, unlike last week. Jessica Alba is always easy on the eyes, and Vern Troyer was what you imagine a hockey coach would be like. I especially like the scene where in his office all you can see is legs walking past the window. And Tabarnak Justin Timberlake can act. Damn. Okay. And Tabarnak, Justin Timberlake can act. Damn. There you go. I think that's it. Passing it. So until next time, this is your other man in Canada, Labrini Obi-Wan Kenobi. Labrin Obi-Wan Kenobi. There you go. At some point, I'll get to the end of this thing without stumbling over my own feet in my mouth. I think I was just shocked by the fact that he actually liked this film. I think that's probably the thing that threw me. So, yeah, well, there you go. You know, take some Jaffa Cakes down for Gareth Lloyd. You can all sit around and play Sitar Hero.
Sitar Hero.
Well done, Peter. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for that feedback, sir. I don't know. If...
Night of surprising results.
It is. It's like the Eurovision all over again. As we all look at a Portuguese person who sounds like someone farting into a shivering canoe. So yeah, I don't know if it's just Americans not liking it because they're biased. I mean, I don't think we liked it. I don't know if we're American. I'm pretty sure we're not. But
no, I wouldn't say I liked it. I just found a couple of the jokes amusing, but it's not one that I'd say, oh yeah, I liked it.
Well, there's always that thing with the Komodo Mayo podcast that they say, you know, it has to pass 6 laugh tests to be actually a good comedy. And do you think you laughed 6 times?
Oh God, probably.
Yeah,
I probably did.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably laughed 6 times, but I think that's a bit low, to be honest.
Well, I think.
I mean, for contrast, after the Love Guru, I stuck on. I believe it was the last episode of Flight of the Conchords, where Jermaine comes in and gives an excuse for why he's not only bred in the form of a song, which Jermaine questions, and I laughed. I think every 20 seconds in that 4-minute skit. So 6 laughs over 90 minutes is still piss poor for a comedy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's more just a case of just kind of, I think it's more a case of you should at least have 6 laughs after 2 hours, surely. I think that's the key.
A bare minimum.
A bare minimum, you know.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Anyway, thank you very much for that, Peter. Thank you for your feedback, sir. And off you go into the Juddland wastes of the Great White North. And, right, so now it's time to move on to our next bit of feedback. And who is that, Jim?
Well, it's Doreen Kelly's email address, but it seems to be from Keldor the Mighty, Galactic Enforcement Chief.
Oh, see, we're really spreading our wings now. Now that we're moving into an intergalactic audience, you know, with Klingons and Vulcans and Martians, and now intergalactic police chiefs. Brilliant. Go for it.
We're causing a major intergalactic incident, apparently.
Well, of course we are. Well, why wouldn't we be doing anything otherwise?
Indeed. Subject line: Love Guru Quarantine Certificate.
Oh dear.
I am Keldor the Mighty, Galactic Enforcement Chief. This is a quarantine certificate banning all viewing and investigation of that psychobiological weaponized transmission that appears to have originated from the planet Earth. As of this date, 41st December of the Void Cycle 2099, this transmission has not been incepted on the pain of everlasting life. Enduring cruel and unusual punishment, this sentence will be carried out by Mike Myers' Everlasting Guru Space Android suits, which will play working 9 to 5 and other agonizing melodic sounds from the transmission entitled Love Guru. If and when life comes to a conclusion, the correctional robotic shells will use Grail injections to extend life. Each time the criminal awakes, they will hear, G, get, R, ready for, A, another, I, incarnation, L, layabout, M. Anyone found to have any knowledge of the material contained within the Love Guru will spend eternity watching it with their eyelids removed and with an interdermal transmission of stay awake. Stop trying to countermand your galactic law, Army King.
Wow. I feel like I should have been playing like the music from from Sapphire and Steel underneath all of that.
Yes. Oh, sorry, the last one. Sorry, I'll read that again. I missed the last line.
Go on.
I don't know how to scroll it on my screen. Sorry. Stop trying to countermand your galactic law. Army. I've got your disease now.
See, this
Stop trying to countermand your galactic law, Army King orders. TM.
Hold on. Let me write that down. So hold on. Stop. Hold on. Where are we? I'm trying to find a email now. I've sent it to you.
Hang on.
I get it. Hold on. Stop.
No, it's not going to work in the group chat. It's completely screwed all the lines.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I got it. So stop S trying T to countermand A your galactic law army king orders. Stay awake. There you go. Got it. Wow. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. I knew someone would try and do that gag. Well done.
I'd be disappointed if they didn't, I'll be honest.
Yeah. So well done. I'm going to take a guess that she's not impressed with it. But,
getting that impression.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Next time, let us know, and I'll put an echo on Jim's voice. Do for that one. Well, thank you very much for that, Keldor the Mighty. We hope we don't scare anyone off, or cause any intergalactic incidents. So thank you very much for that. So let's move swiftly on before the Earth is invaded by enforcement officers. And move on to you, Elton. Who's your next piece of written feedback?
Okay, I have Chris Johnson, who we all know as a lover of shit movies.
He is indeed the shit finder general.
Yeah,
as I have named him. So he will love this. It will be third down there in the bunker, I'm sure. And so
right,
what does
let's
he say?
find out.
Yep.
His subject is Love Puru feedback. Namaste, Lee, Darren, Jim, and Elton. Holy titty fucking Christ. Love Guru is like watching bowel surgery while Joe Pasquale sings I Know a Song That'll Get on Your Nerves at you for 90 minutes. All the so-called jokes fall flatter than a tramp who has just been run over by a steamroller. And I laughed more when my NHS keyhole surgery went wrong. So, rest in peace, Mike Myers' movie career, Chris.
Nice. Nice. That was great. Well, there you go. That summed that up. Oh, dear. Right.
I was not expecting that.
Well, neither was I, I'll be honest with you. And yeah, for our overseas listeners, I was trying to find Joe Pasquale, actually. I know a song lyric. There we go. See, Joe Pasquale, he's got a squeaky voice. And
he hasn't been in much recently, has he?
No. So, I think this is him. I think this will be him. Get ready. Any second now. I'm hoping. No, it doesn't appear to be going anywhere, this one.
It's just a Casio demonstration version.
Yeah, I know, it must be. It's just, what the fuck was going on there? Oh, just sometimes, YouTube just defeats me.
And do you know what? Darren's probably got it on his bloody phone, hasn't he?
Darren? Oh, yeah. Darren's probably got it, yeah.
He's not here.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm not going to bother. I think I'll just leave it to everyone else to just Google it up. There you go. Enjoy. Joe Pasquale. I Know a Song That Will Get on Your Nerves. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, thank you very much for that, Chris. Yes, the Shit Finder General. And, is there any plans for any Witless in the coming months, gents, or is it still all
It's just
quiet?
dating.
It's just dating. Yeah, we're still collating. Me and Mother are still collating. Okay, fair enough. So, right, okay. Well, now it's time to move on to our MP3 feedback. And our first bit of MP3 feedback, he says, desperately trying to find his MP3 feedback, is Greg Madden. Yes, Mr. Worf, who's waiting for Mr. Spock over in the security post. And this is what he had to say about the Love Guru.
Greetings, Darren, Lee, Jim, Elton, and that guru of the skies, Mr. Al. This is Mr. Worf, Greg Madden, and I'm here to give you my feedback on the Love Guru. Now, this movie, let me think of how to put this. Deep breath here. This loaded piece of shit movie really got my ire. By far the best acting in it was from Jessica Alba. Now, no insulting her. She's a beautiful lady, and I'm sure she's done some decent acting in her time. But really, guys, my biggest question about this movie is how many penis jokes can you fit in a movie? This movie, it's jokes. I don't mind sex humor and that type of dirty jokes and stuff, but if they don't work the first time, you don't need to beat us over the head 5 more times with the same stupid line. I was ready to slap Mike Myers with that stupid grin he kept on putting on. It was like he knew that he was selling a pile of crap to the audience, and he's like cheesing, saying, "Hey, you actually are watching this piece of crap. I'm done with this. I'm making money off it." I don't know. I just wanted to really pop him one by the end of this stupid show. The movie was insensitive towards race and religion, or spirituality, or however you want to say it. I felt that the way they dealt with the Indian culture and the spiritual nature of the Hindu religion over in that area was pretty offensive for those people, even though I don't follow any of that. And I know very few Indian people, but I can't see that not being offensive. Like I said earlier, the jokes, 8 out of 10 of them weren't even chuckle-worthy, and the two that were close were not that humorous either. I don't know how else to say that. And the stupid nature of the whole show, I don't see how they actually came up with this idea and actually got it produced. I mean, going to hockey, I think, was a cop-out of doing a super popular sport. Hockey's popular, but not probably one of the lesser of the group of major sports. I think that's how they got away with that. But they really insulted the whole idea of, relationships. And they were selling it that whoever had the biggest cock was the one the women would go to. If you're in that type of relationship, it's not really a relationship. Just a clue there. The whole thing was stupid. I mean, elephant sex at the end, really? I really don't know where to go with this. It was so offensive in so many ways and so ridiculous. I mean, he thought he would throw in some classic music to make it seem more something. I think it was more time filler than anything else because the jokes weren't funny and they would just beat you over the head with them. I really don't know what else to say, so I'm going to cut it short here. This movie was a total load of crap. I wish them to rot in hell for this show. I'll burn down Mike Myers' conservatory for him if he wish. I'll just leave it there. So, let me take a deep breath here. So I wish you guys the best. I'm looking forward to next week, being a big anime fan. So, hope you guys are having the best week. Everything goes good for you. And I really want to say for this conservatory month, fuck y'all for thinking of this. Cheers. Have a good day.
Good day to you, and fuck y'all.
Another satisfied customer.
Yeah, I was going to say, job's done. Job's a good one.
I'm reminded of a Mo from The Simpsons quote of, I'm choking on my own rage here.
I can't upgrade him to being Mo now after being Mr. Wolf and Bones. I mean, God almighty. No, thank you very much for that, sir. Yeah. When he said "fuck
we
y'all,"
feel your pain. We understand.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We do these things because we think they're funny until we actually have to do them.
Then we realise what a terrible, horrible mistake we've made.
Yeah, that's right. That docket is to make us laugh, and then by the end of it, we get to it and they go, "Oh fuck, what have we done?"
Kill us.
Yeah,
that's an oft-heard phrase in Shea Catter.
Yeah,
Catter Blackdog.
Yeah, exactly. In the green room, hidden away, is a lot of conversations going. We are going to get absolutely slaughtered for this. Which is why when we do the horror films, we have to name who picked them. Just because we're already on a loser picking horror films. And then it's like, oh, there's going to be something that's going to make someone really sick. Who's to blame? That person over there. Get him. Anyway, thank you very much for that, Greg. Yeah, don't worry. See you next week for the next one, I guess. I take it he wasn't a fan. So let's move on to the next piece of feedback. Next piece of feedback is from a regular feedbacker, but not a regular MP3 feedbacker. It's Mr. Jack Woodgate, old Union Jack. And let's hear what he had to say about Love Guru.
Hello. Well, I've just watched Love Guru. Let's have a look at my notes. Yeah, basically just over and over again. Fuck's sake. Yeah, my plan of attack for this film was, the hubbub was that it wasn't very good, okay? So I thought, I've got Sense8 lined up on Netflix, brilliant. I've also just bought the Doctor Strange Blu-ray, so I should taste this film out if it's bad with something good. But it's left me so drained that I can't be bothered to watch anything now. I was going to curl up and die. The jokes were so laboured and nodding and like, yeah, we know this crap, but yeah, Gary, we know it's crap, but like that's why it's funny. That's why it's ironically funny like that. No, shut the fuck up, Mike. And this is so bad, it's infected other movies. this has robbed Iron Man 3 of the joke of having Ben Kingsley, Knight of the Realm, the man who played Gandhi, playing a comedy character. That's when it was revealed that the Mandarin was an actor, and so you got Ben Kingsley watching football and making jokes like I'll give it 5 minutes after that, like base jokes. But now this has done it before it. So that it's robbed that Iron Man 3 of that gag. And what is it with, not Americans, because mine is, of course, Canadian. It's like a love letter to hockey. Well, what is it with non-sports films that think making the sport is the stake to have in it? I mean, it did it with Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. It did it with Heaven Can Wait, Teen Wolf. I mean, it's such an easy to get you. But we don't care about reenacted sports. I'm not a sports fan, but I get why people are invested in the drama of a football game or a baseball game, anything like that, because it's the unpredictability of it. But we know sports films are scripted, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I just had Chris Johnson on Facebook, posted that I was watching the film. He goes, "Do you like it?" And I put on his comments, I can't even be bothered to post the video link of Dr. Evil going, "How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?" I mean, because it's made that film crap. It's like, it's Superman fucking a donkey again, isn't it? I mean, I love Wayne's World. It's a very important part of my teenage years and whatnot, my late teenage, early 20s years, and Austin Powers and everything like that. But Shrek, this film is like spongy because it's the same riffs and same gags, and you're thinking, and it's just made the jokes in Wayne's World more obvious now. Jokes in Austin Powers more obvious now by that winking at camera, because it's like, oh dear.
Well, thank you very much for that, Jack. Thank you for your feedback, sir. Don't curl up and die. Just learn from your lessons. When we say conservatory season, things ain't going to be good.
No.
I think that's
definitely not.
I think that's the takeaway from all of this. That we really are meddling with powers we do not understand.
We've opened a box somewhere, haven't we?
Yeah. You opened the box, we came. Yeah, I mean, it is that. It is. We are shit film Cenobites now. You know that. Yeah. So,
if only there was someone that could do Photoshop and do us as Cenobites. Ugh.
If only there was. If only there was someone that could do that shit. Well, we'll never know, will we? Anyway, so thank you very much for that, Jack, sir. Thank you. And let's move swiftly on to our next bit of feedback. Our next bit of feedback comes from Rosmosis. And yes, she's sent this impassioned plea for the Love Guru. Actually, it probably isn't. She probably hates it like everyone else.
Hello, everyone. It's Rosmosis here. Well, mostly here. This was a tough watch. I am at a loss, but I shall endeavour to continue, for I feel that from the depths of my sadness and my dark despair, I might bring forth some snide remarks and acerbic humour. If it works for 80% of modern comedy, then it might work for me. Speaking of comedy, Philip the Sage once said that the worst thing to sit through is a bad comedy. The nostalgia critic further elaborated by pointing out that there are only so many ways one can say, "That's not funny." At least you can spin potential ironic chuckles from, say, a shit fantasy horror made by a stone-cold German dickhead with less directorial skill than a first-year film studies student. There is no such luck with the Love Guru. On a somewhat positive note, I suppose it is an achievement to be so unfunny it drains joy from the viewer like a dementor that also makes racist jokes. It accurately conveys the feeling of being visited by an elderly relative who still thinks Chalky White is funny. all you could do is cringe into your own ribcage and pray for a swift, merciful death just to bring this hellish suffering to an end. My God, even the Shrek sequels were funnier than this. I think Mike Myers only did this to cover his wife's medical expenses. If that's true, it's a testament to how shit the American healthcare system is. Even white male comedians, and SNL alumni no less, have to debase themselves with this dross just to keep loved ones alive. Fuck me. We always lived in the darkest timeline. Even Lovecraft, Nietzsche, and Terry Gilliam, whilst listening to Tool, working together to remake The Road, couldn't come up with something more depressing than The Love Guru. I look upon a summer's day, and all I can see is racial stereotyping so insensitive that a colonial Victorian with mutton chops and a pith helmet would pop his monocle and say, "Steady on, old bean!" I listen to laughter from my beloved daughter, and all I can hear is Mike Myers playing 9 to 5 on a sitar. Thanks, I needed a perfectly good Dolly Parton song ruined by a shit quote-unquote comedy. Guess I should be grateful it wasn't Jolene. I fear, gentlemen, I will never know happiness again. I will never feel joy or laughter or the warmth of an untarnished soul. Those days are gone, a distant memory replaced by a never-ending melancholy. Hope is an illusion, despair is my only reality. The light has truly been extinguished. With that, dear listener, I must depart, for my husband has filled a paddling pool with gin, and I will not re-emerge until my sorrows are well and truly drowned. Bon nuit, my friends. Bon nuit. Hey! Oh, wait a second! A Judge Dredd TV series? Hey!
S'il vous plaît.
Way! Judge Dredd TV show. Yay! And if you want to go even one step further, after yesterday when we were talking about The Witcher, the video game, Netflix are turning that into a film as well, into a TV series as well. Way!
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of boobies, guy with 2 magic swords, lots of monsters, gore, blood, guts. Basically a one-man Game of Thrones meets Conan.
Sounds good.
With a bit of dash of Han Solo in there as well for good measure. So cool. Okay, well thank you very much for that, Roz. Hopefully your swimming pool full of gin is is salving the wounds.
I hope you dived in at the deep end.
Yeah. Don't go head first. I would say just ease yourself in. It's really easier that way. I'm guessing that we've broken her. It's just a bit of a shame, really. You know, like I say, we're meddling in powers we do not understand now, gentlemen. We've done untold damage to our listenership.
There is something to be said about the dangers of watching these shit films.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a certain power that we know not of yet.
We know not what. Yeah, yeah. Oh well. Yeah. I can only, like I say, I can only apologise. Well, I can't apologise because it's making good podcasting. Yeah. I slowly live off the tears of the others.
Never apologise. Never apologise.
Never apologise.
Remember, rule 3, screw them losers. Never apologise.
Never apologise. Okay, well, the other thing to bear in mind is that Roz does actually is actually writing a book or writing books, and she's been promoting them on Twitter. So you follow her on Twitter, and also if you look on Facebook, I think she's got a yes, she has a Facebook group about her writing. So I will put a link in on the Facebook page for Blackdog so you can follow that. So there you go. So thank you very much for that, Roz. And now it's down to our last bit of feedback for the evening, which is Michael Cornett and presumably Voldar.
Good evening, Black Doggers. Good evening to Lee, Darren, Jim, and Elton. This is Mike Cornett, the belly stapler, your man in Baltimore.
And this is Voldar, your friend on Phobos.
Okay, guys. Voldar and I are just going to sit here and glare at you for the next few seconds.
That's right.
Okay. Oh. What a piece of shit. Piece of fucking shit.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's just so bad. Rarely do you see a movie with just such contempt for its audience. I mean, this movie just was like, these were people who just weren't even trying. They were just scraping the bottom of the barrel, flinging at the screen and seeing what stuck.
And this really, I don't feel qualifies as a conservatory film for Mike Myers. This, I mean, for Ben Kingsley, yes, and for Val Kilmer and Mariska Hargitay and some of the other bit players, and Deepak Chopra. Let me tell you, I had a therapist who was getting all Deepak Chopra on me. I killed him. Okay? That's how much I hate Deepak Chopra.
I don't like him either, Voldar.
Well, that's why I'm still on Phobos. But let me finish. This was more of a vanity project for Mike Myers. He was really the driving force behind this movie. He wrote it. He was, I think, co-producer even behind the scenes, and they hired this very inexperienced director because Mike Myers was pulling all the strings. So this is Vanity, Thy Name is Mike Myers, rather than a conservatory. So I disagree with you people there.
Okay, that's good. I like that, Voldar. That's a really, really good point.
Thank you. I thought so too.
But yeah, it's just such shit. I just really, Stephen Colbert was funny in a few spots, and whoever was playing his co-anchor in those bits was actually kind of good in his reactions to Colbert and giving him all these what the fuck looks that we were all giving the screen during this movie. Justin Timberlake, easy on the eyes, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'd make friends with him repeatedly till he yelled.
Okay, no, stop.
Oh, sorry.
Other than that, piece of shit. Piece of fucking shit. Kill this movie. I fucking hate you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you for making me watch this. This is now my Amazon history. They're going to be like, oh, you watch The Love Guru. You want to watch these other pieces of shit. Oh, fuck you, people.
Calm down, Mike. Calm down. Think of your blood pressure.
Oh, thanks, Voldar. He's telling me to calm down. That's how bad this is.
Relax, Mike. Deep breath. Come on, you can do it.
Okay. Alright, anyway. Oh, let's just have another quick moment of silence so we can both give death glares. And with that, there's just no more to say. Fuck this movie. Fuck you for making me watch this. Love you guys, really. But fuck you. Fuck you.
Mike, stop it.
Okay. Alright. Calm down. Alright. And that's it. This is Mike Cornett, the Belly Stapler, in Baltimore, signing off.
And this is Voldar on Phobos saying bye. Mwah. Nighty night.
Okay. See you guys. Bye.
Well, there you go. That's it. So the Martian from Phobos is calming down the man from Baltimore. Yeah, they're both giving us death glares. Should we just blame Darren and just leave?
Yes.
It's all Darren's fault. That's what you get for not turning up, Darren. I don't care if you got rust in your eyes. Fucking, that's no excuse. You look what you've done to these people. You've done. Yeah, well, thank you very much for that, Mike. Thank you very much for that, Voldar. Thank you for the feedbacks. Yeah, well, like I say, it's in your Amazon history, but, don't look at it as being a blot on your Amazon history. Look at it as a sign that you saw something bad, you come out the other end, and you moved on, and you become a better person for it. Do you think they're buying that? Anyone?
No.
I didn't think so either. I tried. Anyway, so that's the end of the feedback. That's the end of the feedback episode. Thank you very much for everyone for listening, and thank you very much for sending in all the feedback, which obviously implies that you watched a terrible, terrible film on our behalf. So thank you for that as well. So just to remind you that next week we will be doing Ghost in the Shell, the original anime version, and not the standalone complex or any of that, the actual original movie. And yes, Jim, do you want to do a little bit of promotion before we go?
No, I won't.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Last night.
No, he did it last night. Fair enough. So, okay, then. Well, I won't ask Elton then either, because I'm not giving him a chance to give me a kick in as well. I feel like I'm being ganged up on now. Have you just? It's almost.
I'm just incredibly lazy.
No, that's fair enough. I was going to say it's almost like you guys have just realised what we've done to everyone, and now you're just like.
I'm feeling bad about it.
You're just backing away, and leaving me to sort of hang. Right, okay, well then fair enough. Well, one last bit of promotion which I should have done, which is you can hear more of Mike and Voldar presumably on his on their blog, which is dustandcorruption.blogspot.com. We did all the promotion last night anyway, didn't we? So just go Space Doc Jury, Hypnogoria, Shonky Lab, Earth 2, Rogue One, Rogue 2. Electric Boogaloo. I don't know.
What about the meetup as well in September?
Oh, okay. I keep forgetting that. Yes. Someone brought up Ollie brought up that I got the date wrong for the meetup. The meetup. If you're listening to this and you want to come to the Blackdog Shindig, which is essentially just an excuse to go to the pub, don't expect us to be doing anything more than going to the pub. But we are going to be at the pub, which is going to be the Nelly Dean, and it's going to be on the 9th of September. And the reason I should have known the 9th and not the 12th is the 9th is the anniversary of the Blackdog podcast. The 9th of September was our first ever release. Pardon the phrasing. And yes, the 12th was my parents' wedding anniversary, so that's why I was remembering that. So there you go. So if you want to come along on the 9th of September to the Nelly Dean in Soho.
It's always a bloody good night as well.
It is a bloody good night.
Lots of friendly people. Get on with absolutely everyone. It's a rip-roaring night, so I would recommend popping along.
Yeah, and then it always ends up with at least one person coming up to me saying, "Why did you hate that film?" And then it ends up in a big long discussion whereby I just say, "Oh, here's a drink." So if you want a drink, if you want me to buy you a drink, that's usually a good way. Go away, go on, have a drink, go away. Don't you scare me. So anyway, so we might see you then. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for Ghost in the Shell. And do keep in contact with us in the usual places, the blackdogpodcast.com, the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/the Blackdog Podcast, and of course on Twitter, which is @BlackDogPodcast. So, thank you again. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Elton. Hope Darren, if he's listening to this, which he's not, he's really not listening to this, is he? But, if he is, we hope his eye gets better. And if
Get well soon, Darren.
Get well soon, Darren, with your big bulgy eyes. And we'll see you and him.
Soldier.
Sorry?
Be a brave soldier.
Yeah, just wear the little eye patch with a sticker on it. With a minion on it.
Stickle brick on it.
Stickle brick, yeah. It's just probably where he got what he got in his eye.
And he can have a wowie pop.
Oh, yeah. As you can see, we've got lots of sympathy for whatever it is that he's currently anguishing through. But
I hope he ain't too serious.
I was going to say, this is going to be sounding terrible if he comes in next week and he's only got one eye. Darren's now a Cyclops, and we laughed while that was happening. Anyway, until next week, take care, thank you very much, and we'll see you all next time for Ghost in the Shell. Till then, tatty bye.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Oh, you remembered.
Oh, bollocks to it.